us a chance to win the game with the penalties, the turnovers, and so forth. But give Florida State credit; they played very well. I think they only had the reverse interception, and of course we had, I think, 2 clips on that play. So instead of Stephon Gilmore getting us up to about the 40, I think we started on our own 7 on that drive. But we had a lot of turnovers. Alshon had a heck of a game, but he fumbled one also there early in the 3rd quarter. But anyway, it was a game. If we played well, we'd have a chance. Florida State played well as far as few penalties and very few turnovers, and they got a heck of a kicker. They must have gained 250 yards in the kickoff exchange and the punt exchange. We punted twice, and they ran both of them right down our throats. So that tells you who had the athletes on special teams. We got to get better somehow or another on special teams if we're going to win a big ball game. But it was, Steven struggled early, and then he made some pretty decent throws there in the second half, and looked like we had a chance to get back in the game. But they fumbled kickoff, got it back, and one of our guys, I guess, shoved somebody late. So they started on the 40-yard line and made a couple of big 3rd downs and pretty much put the game away. We had a big holding penalty when Steven ran the draw for about 15 yards. It just took us out of it. Tried to make a 4th and 18 or 15 or something there. So anyway, it was unfortunate, but that was as good as our team could do this year. It was 9 wins, and we'll try to get better next year. But we're a long way off from being a real good team. So it was unfortunate. Alshon Jeffrey made some beautiful catches. Stephon Gilmore played great, and Kenny Miles came in there and made some nice runs and so forth. But other than that, we got beat in the bowl game again. Any questions?
All right, questions, please, right here. Steve, can you update us on Marcus's condition?
Yeah, Marcus is still at the hospital. He got a helmet right under the chin area. I think he cut his lip and had to have some stitches, and had a little bit of a concussion along with that. So he was out of the game early. That was an unfortunate play. They were sort of playing man-to-man, and the guy came off of one of our receivers out there and broke on the ball, and we hit him a little wider than we had hoped to, and that was a bad play for our team and a good play for FSU.
Do you feel like it took your guys a second to catch their breath?
No, we held them to a whole bunch of field goals early. If we could have made them keep kicking field goals, we might have had a chance. We moved the ball. Actually moved the ball fairly decent. Made 400 yards. I didn't realize we made 400. It seemed like we were getting just stymied the whole first half. But when you start on your own 20 or your own 7-10, you got to make a whole bunch of yards if you're going to score any points. And you don't do anything on special teams. You never get a break there. So we were way back all night, and had 400 yards. We don't usually make that many, so it wasn't a terrible offensive performance. Just the turnovers is what really hurt us.
Okay, right here.
Steve, without Marcus, exactly what did that do to your game plan then?
Well, it hurt a bit, no question about that. I don't know. We kept trying to run a little bit more, that's for sure. But again, seems like throwing the ball was how we moved it for a lot of big yards. Kenny Miles had some nice runs there. We probably averaged pretty decent rushing. Yeah, Kenny averaged 7 yards a carry. But we, like I said, we had a long way to go most of the time, and something bad kept happening to us. What did we have, 5 turnovers, I guess? Something like that.
Okay, right here in the middle.
With Marcus being on basically all the first half, Jefferson being shut down, how big that was for you?
Well, it's a big play because we were, at least maybe got a field goal, and they came down and got one, so that's maybe a 6-point difference right there if we had not scored a touchdown. But who knows? I'll tell you one thing we did well. We played pretty good pass defense most of the night, except we dropped one interception in the end zone and had a deflection that we just couldn't quite break on. That might have been a big play too. So we're not a real alert bunch of guys, and we had a lot of careless penalties, and that's how you get beat. So that's what happened to us tonight.
Questions?
We had 2 punt returns for 3 yards, and they had 2 for 53. How's that for different?
Can you pinpoint what it is with Stephen Garcia's struggles in bowl games?
No, you'll have to ask him.
What was there any thought in sitting him after his struggles?
Well, there's always a thought of that, but he pretty much got us this far, so we felt like let's let him finish this thing. And Connor Shaw will give a chance in spring practice. You know, we got a lot of positions up for grabs, a whole bunch of positions up for grabs. So we'll see what Connor can do. But Stephen, if he would just hold the ball in 2 hands and throw it, and, you know, he throws it, it slips out of the bottom of his hand, and I can't get him to do it. And Coach Magnus hadn't got him to do it yet, and he gets that, you know, sinker ball, we call it occasionally, and that's what happened on a couple of the interceptions there. So hopefully he will practice real hard this summer in spring. Hopefully he will, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, right here.
Florida State seem to make their living on the corners and off tackle all night long.
Huh?
Florida State seem to make their living on tackling on the corners the passes all night long.
Tackling on what?
No, so they seem to make their living by running off.
Oh, yeah.
Tackling.
Yeah, they ran the ball pretty well. And, you know, coming in, we were pretty good against the run. We were leading the conference, I think, against the run. But they rushed for a bunch of yards. How many did they rush for? 218. Man, that's the most, maybe the most we've given up all year. Only threw for 90. But that last one was a big one. That last scramble play was a big one. If they just kick the field goal there, we're only down 5, and, you know, but 9-5 with 5 minutes, and then we got to hold the penalty, and that was the ball game pretty much after that.
Steve, you went with Steve Jr. downstairs on the field.
Yeah, we tried something a little different. We had Coach Magnus up there watching a while, doing this, that, and the other, and second half we just sort of went back and did some different things. But anyway, I don't know if it had anything to do with it, the turnovers and so forth.
Okay, right here.
Penalties.
Coach, how about the state of the program this year, as opposed to last year, with the things that were accomplished?
State of the program, I'll let you know after February the 2nd. We have either a super signing class or so-so. We're hoping to have a super one, because there are a lot of guys out there that we think can help us next year. A lot of them out there playing high school ball we think can help us next year. So that's not against the rules, is it? I didn't mention anybody's name. No, we're hopefully going to get some guys come in and give us some help. Give us some help on special teams. You can't win big games, play special teams the way we do. It's hard to do. I mean, it's hard. You can if you play pretty close to perfect on offense and defense, but you got to make some plays here, there, and the other.
So this is the third straight bowl game for Stephen's struggle.
Yeah.
9 turnovers in 3 games. Can you put a finger on that month in between? Maybe does something happen where he doesn't play well in the bowl game?
You'll have to ask him. We had pretty decent practices, and I don't know. You just have to ask him about that.
All right, let's go here in the front.
Steve, have you mentioned special teams weaknesses a few times tonight? Is there a thought maybe reassigning some of the coaching duties?
No. Coach Beamer does a super job with those guys. We got to give him some better athletes out there. We got to give him some better athletes. Simple as that. We can't hold anybody up, and I guess we couldn't cover punts very well either. They got a good punt return guy too, but we got to get some better athletes, I guess, out there covering, or try to coach them a little different. Or we told Lanning to punt out of bounds. He hadn't come close to punting one out of bounds yet tonight. And I sort of got a little irritated at him because he was supposed to kick it toward the sideline, and I think boomed both of them right down the middle. One of them pretty short. But Lanning's had a super year, made his field goal, and he's a wonderful young man. But anyway.
All right, we've got time for 2 more guys right here and then right here.
What are your thoughts on your senior players that you lose and what they've been to the program?
Yeah, a lot of them played super. A lot of them played very well here. Yeah, a lot of them have really done well. And, you know, like I told you guys, 9 wins is the best we could do this year. That's the best our team could do. And winning the Eastern Division was neat. So we did some first things here and there. But in our wins, we played with very, very few turnovers. None against Florida, none against Clemson, only one against Alabama that didn't hurt us. And in our losses, we had turnovers and penalties, and that's how you get beat. Pretty simple.
All right, last question right here.
Still a mystery why your team just can't play well in the bowl games?
In the bowl games, it's not a mystery. Just something happens to us that we lose our focus, I guess. I don't know. We just got our butts kicked by UConn. We were ready to play. They just outplayed us. Tonight, Florida State outsmarted us and outplayed us completely in special teams. And we had the turnovers. Didn't give ourselves much of a chance. But they played a lot better than we did. They were a better coached team tonight than we were. Simple as that.
All right, thank you, Coach.
A lot better coached.